Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Victoria and welcome to Pembroke Beauty. So today I did my first Halloween look ever. I put out a poll on my Instagram, which you guys could follow me on if you want to, and you should. But I put out a poll and I got a vote to do the Goddess of the Underworld, and I was like, so then I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I might just tell you the story right now. So essentially, there was the goddess of spring and growth, and the god of the underworld, Hades. He decided that he was in love with her, and her name was Persephone. So she was hanging out in the meadow, and Hades came up from the underworld and kidnapped her and brought her down to the underworld, where she would stay until he finally was convinced by Zeus, I believe, and he said, okay, I'll let you go if you don't eat anything in this certain amount of time. And she ended up being tricked by Hades into eating a single pomegranate seed, so then she was stuck in the underworld for forever. But then because everyone on Earth started to die and not have any food because there was no spring growth, they decided to kind of compromise, and he let her out half of the year, which is why we have 4 seasons. So spring and summer are thanks to Persephone. So I decided to do this look and kind of make it so that it was like in her crossing over from the underworld to, you know, every day. So I figured this side is more like her normal natural self, and then this is her when she's in the underworld. And I did some tears because, you know, she's like sad that she's in the underworld and she doesn't necessarily want to live there and stuff like that. So if you guys do like this look and you want to see how to get it, then just keep on watching. So I'm starting off with my face, and I'm going in with the Yes to Carrots moisturizer, and like I said, I really like this moisturizer. This is what I use every day. If you wanted to use a different primer, you absolutely could, but this is kind of my go-to one for right now. Then I'm going to go in with the Colourpop Honeydew Cream Gel Liner, which is an amazing liner. You don't have to use this one if you don't have it, but I'm just drawing kind of like a line across my face to kind of give myself an idea of where I wanted to go from the more dead side to the more springy, alive side. Then I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Porcelain, and I'm placing this on my sunny side in just the spots of my face where I have a little bit of darkness. I didn't want to go overboard because I did want some of my freckles to show through. And then on the other side, on my dead side, I'm going to pretty much cover my entire face. If you had a foundation that you really liked, you could absolutely use it. I don't really have one. I also wanted my face to be very, very pale on this side, which is why I went in with this. The only foundation that I own is a little bit too dark for a dead looking look. But absolutely, if you had a white concealer, that would be like an ideal time to use it, is on that half of your face. Then I'm just taking my finger and blending it in. Absolutely, if you guys feel like you want foundation, do so, but I'm not. Then I'm going to go in with my Starfire Loose Setting Powder, which I absolutely love, and I'm just going to set my entire face on both sides with this powder using a Morphe Beautiful and Bronze brush, and it will just be like a really light set. I wanted to really very lightly set my sunny side and then really kind of intensely set my dead side. Then I'm going to go in with the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette, and I got this in my BoxyCharm actually, and I'm going in with this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just taking that center shade right there, and it's kind of a gray taupe, and I'm using this as my contour slash bronzer shade. And this brush is really good because it is very flat on one side, so it makes life contouring very easy, and I wanted to make this very precise on that half. So it does look very intense, but I want that. Now I'm going in with the Colourpop Private Party Bronzer, which is a very warm tone bronzer. I wanted to be very toasty on the one half of my face, and I'm going in with my typical e.l.f. brush to really bronze up everything and kind of make this very blown out and very beautiful. You know, I wanted that half of my face to be very, very warm and sunny and all of the above. So now I'm taking some of my Starfire powder again on that same Morphe Beautiful and Bronze brush, and I'm just cleaning up that bronze and the contour, and I actually did it to the other half of my face as well. Then I went in with this brush right here, which is more focused, and I just took that same contour shade from the Nightingale palette that we were using and kind of intensified and blew out that like contour shade that we were using because it felt a little too harsh. Then I went in with the Note Desert Rose blush, and I got this in a BoxyCharm as well, so if you want to check that out, you can. But it's very terracotta and red and warm, and I placed this on a Tarte Mermaid brush on the one sunny side of my face. Then I went in with the Jeffree Star Peach Goddess highlighter. Absolutely love this, you guys know, and I did want to be very, very glowy on this side, so I used this as kind of like a blush topper that was very shimmery and warm. Then I went in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild palette, and I went in with the Center Shade Star, which is more of a silver, and I went in with ice blue or something, I don't remember, the blue ice one, and I used an e.l.f. brush to blow that highlighter out. Then I went in with my all-time favorite Spoon Colourpop Super Shock Cheek highlighter. So I'm placing this just on my fingers on the warm side of my face's cheekbone. It's very beautiful, kind of golden tan, and very, very pretty. So then I went in and topped it with this Wet n Wild Moon Tears from the Gothographic collection, and this is my favorite loose highlighter ever, but it's discontinued, but maybe you can find it. So then I went in, did something a little different. I went in with the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner collab with Kathleen Lights, and this is in the shade Mr. Bing, and this is a very, very warm brown. It does match my hair pretty well, and I just pushed this, I drew a line along the bottom of my brows and then kind of flicked up in little hair strokes into my brows. Then I'm taking this clean mascara wand, which you can steal from Ulta, on their tester area, and I just brushed that through. Then I took my handy dandy NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in Chocolate and coated my eyebrows, I was going to say lashes, and coated my eyebrows with this and just made them very full and bushy. Then I went back in with the Nightingale palette, and I went in with this big fluffy brush from the More Beautiful and Bronze set into that same light taupey cool shade that we used as our contour shade on the dead half of our face, and I really blew this out in the crease and along the lower lash line. I want to drag this out a lot. Then I went in kind of with this slightly deeper shade of brown and the kind of very cool deep gray shade in the palette, and I used the Elizabeth Mott blending brush, and I flicked this all over my lid, focusing it really, really low, but also all the way across from inner to outer corner, kind of making a very intense smoky eye, but I'm going to make it more intense. Then I also drugged this along my lower lash line, and because this is kind of like the dead half of our face, I wanted this to be very blown out and very, very smoky, almost too much. Then I went back in and focused with that very dark gray shade again, and really, really intensified that gray shade, especially along the lower lash line and the outer corner. Then I went in with the pencil brush from the Morphe Beautiful and Bronze set, and I went in with the black shade from the palette, and I focused this right onto the outer corner of our eye, really taking this and kind of smudging it along and placing it and then moving it around once it's placed. And this will really help to intensify the smoky eye that you're going for, and it will make everything kind of come together in a more smoked out, intense way. Then I went back in with the Elizabeth Mott blending brush, and I went back into the deep gray shade that we were using and really used this to smudge that black out even more, make sure everything's blended. Then I went in with the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette. If you want to see a full tutorial using this, feel free to check out the link up above in the little eye card. But I went in with this taupey grayish, greenish shimmer shade. And I took the Lottie London brush and I placed this all over my lid and then underneath of my lid on the lower lash line, and I really smudged this out. Then I took some of the black and the dark gray shade from the Nightingale palette again on the pencil brush and really smudged out that shimmer shade that we placed. Then I went back in to a different Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault palette, and I used the Ring the Alarm palette, and I went in with this very bright kind of cranberry red shade, which I was like debating whether or not I wanted to do this, but I think it actually added a really good element to the look. It kept it from being too cool, but it also was kind of like I was crying because I was sad, you know what I mean? I don't know, maybe it's just me who thought that, but I thought that. Then I went back in with the black shade from the Nightingale palette on the pencil brush and used this to blend everything out, kind of making a halo eye. Then I went back in with the Elizabeth Plot blending brush and blended all of the edges. And then I went back in with the big fluffy brush from the very beginning and went into the shade, I think it's called Poof, from the Dark Magic Jaclyn Hill palette. Then back in again with the taupey shade and the dark gray shade on the Elizabeth Plot blending brush and really push that into the outer corners of our eyes. Then I'm taking my matte NYX liquid liner and I'm making a wing with this. If you don't want to do a wing, you didn't have to, but I felt like it added a little something. So I added a wing with my favorite liner ever. Then I took this Eco Tools brush and I took the like kind of flatter, smaller side, and I really went into the black and smudged this all along my lower lash line because I just felt like it wasn't intense enough on the lower lash line. Connected this up to the wing and added some lashes and mascara, and that is the dead looking eye. Then I went in with the e.l.f. concealer brush and I took the same highlighter shades we used and placed that onto our inner corner. And then I actually went back into the red shade we used from the Ring the Alarm palette, and I placed this on my inner corner as well. So now I'm taking this kind of very warm orangey brown neutral transition shade from the Ring the Alarm palette, and I'm taking it on the Morphe Beautiful in Bronze big fluffy blending brush, and I placed this into our crease on the sunny side. I also pulled this along our lower lash line and made it very blown out and pretty. Then I went in with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault Armed and Gorgeous palette, and I went into the yellow shade, and I took this on the big fluffy blending brush as well and pulled this around the edges. Then taking the Colourpop Cosmetics Ojitos blending brush, I went into the slightly deeper orangey shade from the Armed and Gorgeous palette, and I pulled this through my crease and really focused it out on the outer edge and the outer V of our eye. I also pulled it underneath of the eye and blew this out and connected it up to the top. Sticking with the same brush, I actually went into the Bling Boss palette and I took the more cranberry pinky shade and pulled this through our crease as well because I wanted this to be very warm and sunny and spring-like on that half of our face. Then I went into the shade called Coin, I believe, which is in the Armed and Gorgeous palette with the Lottie London brush, and this is an incredible shade. It is beautiful, it's really intense. I used it absolutely dry and it was like perfect. So I added that, and then I took a little bit of the slightly warmer toned gold that was right next to it and placed this a little bit more on top. I also pulled these two shades underneath of our eyes. Then I went back in with the Colourpop Cosmetics blending brush and pulled a little bit more of that orangey shade and blended the gold shades in. Then going into the white shade in the Armed and Gorgeous palette, I highlighted my inner corners and my brow bone and pulled this a little bit onto our lid to add more light to this eye. Then I used the Colourpop Honey Dude Cream Gel Liner again and placed this into our waterline. Also, I did put a black eyeliner into my waterline on the dead half of our face. So then I went back in and added a little bit more of that deep gray shade and kind of pulled down like fake tears almost on the dead half of our face because I just felt like I didn't look sad enough, but I guess if you wanted to skip that, you didn't have to. Then I went into the Tarte Foiled Finger Paints palette and I took a little bit of that golden shade and used it to re-highlight my sunny side and a little bit more of that blue ice shade onto our dead half. Then I went in and sprayed my face with the Ready Set Radiant Tarte spray, which I really like. It is, like I said, a little bit oily, but I do like it. I ended up filling in half, my warm half of my, actually no, I filled in all of my lips with the Starfire Cosmetics lip liner from their Radiant Glide On lip set. These are beautiful, wonderful, I absolutely love them. This is the more taupey brown shade, and I just felt like it would be a good neutral. Then I went in with the Colourpop Little Weapon Ultra Matte Lip. So I believe that this is discontinued, which is really sad, and I'm sorry, but any bright red lip would do. This was just a very, very vibrant one that I had, but any one that you had would be fine to use, or even a pink or an orange if you wanted to use that on the bright half of your face. It does not matter what lip shade you go with as long as it is very, very bright and contrasting to the other half, which I use the NYX Liquid Suede Stone Fox liquid lipstick on the dead half of my face, which, as you would have guessed, is literally a gray shade. It is a stone shade, and I took this after I went in with the lighter red shade and blended this into it a little bit. And I did it kind of at an angle so that it wouldn't be like just half of my face is one way and half is the other way, because I did kind of want it to be more abstract, I guess, but if you wanted to do it half and half, you totally could. Okay guys, so this is a finished look, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do recreate this look, definitely tag me in it on Instagram. You guys can follow me here if you want, and I want to see it. I'm really excited. I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. If you have any more Halloween suggestions for me to do, definitely comment them down below. Give this video a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the little bell so you get notifications every single time that I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!